So I had to take my optic and rail completely off to put some oil in this gun. And I'll see if it's still zero. Probably not. That's how my luck goes. Still zero, I just can't hold steady. So yeah, for all you guys that have AKs and you're using the top rail mounts, if you've got a good enough one, I'm using the UTG, the new one. I think they call it the Pro, and I got a SIG MSR green dot on top of it. And yeah, I slid the rail off, and I had to jerry with it for a while because they just don't always go back on there perfectly. And put it back on and shot, and still zero. I just can't stand still. Good enough to show you. And if you're wondering, I'm shooting the Palmetto State Armory Ak105, their most pimped out one. I'm gonna get a good look at it. Got some Bulgarian Circle 10 see-through magazine. So I was at the top of the hill shooting here, trying to figure out my holdover, and I shot to the right because I can't hold still breathing hard. And then I just did these ones. That's from just a second ago too. And then right here. So my holdover is still the same, which it's like, I think this rifle, or this particular carbine, is sighted in for 20 yards. That's where the zero is at anyways. So this gun here is basically an American modified version of what the Russians would use or are using, the AK105, except it doesn't have the Russian furniture. It has the M-Lock American furniture on it with the ATF approved pistol brace. So it mimics the gun. It's even got the cool little loudener on the end. I'm probably going to put a suppressor on this eventually. The 545 suppresses very well. And I'm hoping to put a better optic on it eventually, but I got a really good deal on these MSR green dot, so I'll stick with it for a little while. But I have to say, for Palmetto State Armory, I was one of their biggest critics for like pretty much the entire time they were making guns. And I've watched them go back to the drawing board over and over again on this particular platform, or I guess I should say their entire AK100 series of weapons. And they just kept at it, and I don't have a lot of rounds through her yet, but I can say this gun compared to my Romanian AK-74M, this thing rocks. I mean, it is a beast to be contented with. It's got the extended, easy safety. The action is just absolutely smooth. I do prefer the saw grip is what I've got on the other two AK rifles. The cheap Tapco saw grip, believe it or not, for 15-20 bucks with some goon tape on it. It is a fabulous grip for an AK platform. But this mag pull grip's not bad. I put some goon tape on there. Got my goon tape on the front here, attach my fancy flashlight. Yeah, this thing definitely kicks a lot of ass. As you can see, rapid fire in this thing is not that hard. It has got an extremely light trigger. It's Palmetto's AK trigger. It doesn't have ALG on it. It's not a Tapco G2 trigger like you would find in the Wassers or the Zastavas, which the Tapco G2 trigger is pretty nice. Tapco gets a lot of crap, but I mean, their stuff looks chintzy, but once you start working with it, it's actually pretty impressive considering. So yeah, I don't have too many complaints yet. I've been running nothing but steel. I've shot a few brass rounds out of her, but yeah, pretty much all you can get for 5.45 anymore is steel, which is all right. AKs were bred in steel, right? I'm hoping that I can get at least 1,000 rounds through this gun to see what it's capable of up to that point. I took pictures originally when I got the gun to show the inside of the guts and where all the parts would be rubbing if they're going to be. I don't know if you guys watch Grand Thumb's videos about Palmetto's AK-74. I think he did another one on their 105. And watching him having to send his back and then get it worked on and then sent back to him and then up and running, I kind of had that imagined for myself. So I'm pretty sure once I get to like 1,000+ rounds, if it's going to have problems, it's going to start showing immediately after at least that amount of ammunition. I can't say the same for the Kalashnikov KP9. When I first got it, it had some sort of a malfunction where it blew the dust cover off, it warped the safety, it blew up a magazine. It was ugly. I was lucky to not be missing any fingers or face parts. And then recently, I don't know if you guys know this, but your guide arm in your spring that goes along here that locks your dust cover in, it's your recoil spring and your guide arm. It's welded on just on the very end here, the arm itself. And I guess that's something that can wear out over time because it happened to my KP9 last time I was out here training. It came loose and I was racking it, thought I had a regular malfunction, and then I got to looking at it, stopped shooting, and realized the spring is like making a pattern of macaroni on the inside of the gun. So, not that much trouble. I contacted Kalashnikov USA and they're sending me the part. So it's a pretty easy fix. And I'm not really sure what to say as far as, I don't want to talk too much shit about them because it's been a really good gun. But at the same time, now I'm starting to feel like it's something I can't depend on, like as far as safety. I'm going to keep running it, and if it keeps having issues, it's just one of those things, kind of like when you buy a car, you know, you be that one time you buy this car that you had your heart set on, and it ends up being a lemon. And you put money into it and keep trying to drive it and keep trying to make it work, and then eventually you're like, I just can't do it anymore. I'm hoping that this gun or the KP9 don't end up being lemons. I hope that they both end up being very well predictable machines. With that being said, I'll do a couple of little up drills and then I'm going to probably call it because it's starting to get dark around here and got to make that cutoff time. Probably just some nice and smooth work. Nothing too crazy. I might try to do some mag changes. I gotta hold that like 6 inches to hit my zero. This is like 5 yards, 4 yards. Try to retain the magazine with my magazine pouch. Definitely need to do some more dry fire work. I need to work on these magazine pouches. They're really tight. It's hard to get these magazines in and out of here. Well, that's probably all about I'm going to do. I might do a few basic drills with my other pistol. I don't want to spend too much ammo on senseless things with my compadre not being here to help me train. I don't do so well on my own. I like to have somebody along for the feedback. This is a sweet gun. So if you guys want a 5.45 gun that you want to take a chance on, you can't beat Palmetto State Armory. This gun here was $1,200. It comes already tricked out. It doesn't come with the little tack rail here, but and then they've got that lifetime warranty. So if you break it, blow it up, run it over with your tank, they'll replace it, or they'll have you send it in to get it fixed. So that's probably going to be my #1 go-to place now from now on to buy as much as I can from, other than Russian stores, is Palmetto, just because that customer service that's hard to beat.